to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's Cereals. The best to you each morning from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line? And now, from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who will soon be opening in a big new musical called Baker Street. He is playing Professor James Moriarty, the most dangerous man in London. We're not any too safe in New York, either. It's Mr. Martin Gabel.
You're perfectly safe.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And on my left, a distinguished figure on Broadway for a considerable length of time, Dorothy Kilgallen.
And now our distinguished publisher panelist, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
Now our very distinguished panel moderator and neologist, let him look that one up, John Charles Daly.
I must say, Martin, it's very nice to see you there on the panel again.
Thank you, John.
We're all looking forward to your coming into New York and opening in Boston as Moriarty. Show you what a small world it is. Bennett's going to, Dallas, Tyler, and Denton, Texas this week. And I drove through Denton this past week going up to Wichita Falls to visit some friends. And I bring you greetings from your friends at NORAD up at Colorado Springs. They all remember your visit. It was very embarrassing for me because I used all of Bennett's old puns right after I got to the North American Air Defense Command. And they said, we've heard them already. Bennett was here. I don't know how many wonders there are in the world, Bennett, but did you see that new combat operations command they're building right in a mountain? They've just gone right straight into a mountain, and they've built a big chamber, 4-story building in height. And this is where North American Defense Command is going to do combat operations. Great sight.
When I was there, John, after the general had shown me all these things, he said, remember, everything I told you was top secret. And I said, it's all right with me. I didn't understand a word you said anyhow.
I think you have to be a trained computer operator just to get into ENT, which is the base. They're a great, dedicated bunch of men. But we have some fine occupations to puzzle you with tonight, panel. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before my friends a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this one. And now to meet our first challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? June S. Bass. Right, ma'am? Miss or Mrs. Bass? Mrs. Bass, and where are you from, ma'am?
Wilson, North Carolina.
Wilson, North Carolina.
That's right.
Nice to have you with us, and now may I present our panel, Mrs. Bass.
Hello.
And if you'll join me over here, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Bass is salaried and deals in the service, and as a neologist, Bennett, I will, manufacture a new word for you. You start.
You know. Mrs. Bass, is the service that you perform done for a non-profit making organization?
Yes, it is.
Is it some kind of a government job?
Yes.
Would it be other than the national government?
Yes.
Is it a state government?
No.
1 down and 9 to go. Miss Francis.
Do you, in your job, deal with men and women?
Yes.
Do they come to you for service?
Yes.
Is there any paperwork involved in your job?
Yes.
Do you give any advice or information to these people?
I would think we could properly say that in the pursuit of your duties, you would be considered to give advice or information to people on occasion, yes.
Does your job have anything whatsoever to do with a law enforcing body?
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with the police work of any kind?
Acting herself in police work? I would think no. We would have to say you do not have anything directly to do with police work. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Are children involved in what you do, Mrs. Bass?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work in the daytime?
Yes.
Do you have any connection with the police, even though you are not an officer yourself of any kind? Do you ever have any reasons to confer with them or to do something as a result of something they've done?
Yes.
Do you carry out any legal edict?
I would say we would have to agree that Mrs. Bass has something to do with the implementation of legal rules, statutes, et cetera, don't you?
Yes.
Do you work in the daytime?
Yes.
Are there more men doing your job than women, would you say?
I would think so. We don't have the exact statistic, but I would think so overall, wouldn't you?
I would take your best guess, John.
I would say, Mrs. Bass said it would be hard to say. I would say probably yes. Let's put it that way.
Do you think we have this office in New York, too, this function that you perform?
We have the function that is performed. It relatively may be described differently, but the function is performed, yes.
May I rule out that you have anything to do with animals?
Yes.
So you deal with adult people. Are they of both sexes?
Yes.
Are they ever in prison or any type of jail when you see them?
I mean, when they are seen physically by Mrs. Bass, are they under some form of detention? That would be no. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Bass, do you conduct any kind of tests, such as truth tests or liquor tests, something to see whether a person is telling the truth or whether they've had intoxicants in their recent past?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Do these people approach you or deal with you singly rather than in pairs?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Do you wear any kind of a special costume
No.
in the pursuance of your job?
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is society better off because of what you do, Mrs. Bass?
We hope so.
I think so.
But would you say that the people who come to you or to whom you come in your work are not necessarily all that pleased about the whole thing?
We would agree that that's a possibility.
Are they sometimes in some kind of trouble?
Some of them.
Are they seeking anything legal or financial?
They could be.
Yes.
Well, do you have anything to do with either the law or bail bonds?
Either the law or bail bonds, yes.
Yes.
All right, I'll pick bail bonds. Are you a bail bondsman?
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Bass, if it's the law that you have something to do with it, is it anything to do with either matrimony or birth?
Good.
Well, if it's matrimony, they certainly ought to deal with more than
No,
one
I'm going to
person.
throw that down. You're skirting
I thought
all
you were the
around this.
justice of the peace
You
at
really
first.
had it.
She's a
Justice of the
lawyer?
peace.
I
Is right.
get that.
Yeah.
said before, do people come to you singly rather than in pairs? I was thinking of justice of the peace.
Yeah, but we said...
Because it takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango. But actually, Mrs. Bass sits on cases. Of course, matrimony could be involved, but also there could be minor infractions of law. They could come in groups or individuals. But you had this all the time, and you kept skirting around the edge. Actually, Mrs. Bass, you've been recently re-elected to your second term as a magistrate,
That's
isn't it?
right.
And that's the proper term, magistrate?
Justice of the Peace in North Carolina.
Justice
Some
of the
people
peace in
call
North
us a
Carolina.
magistrate.
Well, I must say, I hope it doesn't have to happen, but if I'm ever caught transgressing, I hope I come to your court. And thanks for being with us on What's My Line. And now, let's meet our second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Ross Sobel. All right. Mr. Sobel, where are you from?
Coral Gables, Florida.
That explains that wonderful tan. I think I'd have one from Coral Gables, Florida. All right. May I present our panel then, Mr. Sobel? And now would you join me over here, please? And we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. And I suppose everybody down home where you come from can feel happy tonight because it's 28 degrees, I think, outside. It was half an hour ago, anyway. Now, panel, I think we would probably have to describe Mr. Sobel as being salaried and self-employed and dealing in a service, and we'll begin everything with Arlene Francis.
Do you work out of doors in your job, Mr. Sobel?
Yes.
Do you use your hands in your work? Do you use your hands in your work?
Yes.
Is it a job that is peculiar to Coral Gables, Florida, or such country like that?
Natural to...
Oh, naturally.
Well, but you meant peculiar in that it would not be...
Southern country, I mean. That kind of country, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
That's right. That makes it 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Coe.
All right.
Mr. Gabel.
Well, would your job be more likely to be had in a resort town than it would be in an inland town, say, that had nothing to do with sunshine and surf and so on, waterways?
No, I wouldn't say we could restrict it, Martin, in that sense. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
In other words, you could do what you're doing in a northern city that was not on the seashore.
Mm-hmm.
It would be possible. You just wouldn't like it as well. You use your hands in your work?
Yes.
Do you get about a great deal? Do you cover much territory?
I think we would have to agree that Mr. Sobel gets about, yes.
Do you get about in some sort of vehicle?
Well, taking a vehicle is, generally, I'd say yes, wouldn't you?
Yes, yes.
Well, is it something that goes along on the ground?
No. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Sobel, if it's something that does not go along on the ground, is it something that goes through the air?
No. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Watch Arlene pick off water.
No, the only reason I hesitate about water is that we asked if his job would be near a waterway, and the answer was no.
No, the answer was if it was peculiar in its character and required proximity. And we said this was not necessary.
However, Mr. Sobel, you do perform whatever service you perform on or near the water.
Yes.
Or under it or something, yes. Do you handle anything that lives in the water in your job?
No, that's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Gabel.
Do you do your work under the water?
No.
That's tough enough above. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, are you above the surface of the water on some sort of craft or non-craft? But it's above the surface of the water.
He walks on water.
Yes.
Now, his feet are dry. We'll agree.
His feet are dry. Would it be something other than a boat that you are on or in when you do your work?
Nope. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, now that brings us down to boat. Is it more of a pleasure vehicle than a business one? Rather than
He isn't.
has it anything to do with yachts, Mr. Sobel?
Yachts?
Nothing.
No yachts.
Sailboat.
That's 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Francis.
Did we decide, I couldn't hear that end, but was it decided that it was a pleasure boat rather than a commercial boat? Uh-huh. It is not a commercial boat, therefore.
Well, we'd
pleasure
say
boat.
that the intent and purpose of the boat upon which he is lodged is to give pleasure rather than to conduct traffic in goods and
However,
so
he does not have anything to do with anything like a glass bottom boat, for
You have
example.
nothing to do with any
No.
glass bottom. No, we'll agree.
Do you, are you in charge of this boat in some way? Like a...
That's 9 down and 1 to go. That'll help you out. Mr. Gabel?
ferryman?
Is a sport involved in what you do?
Yes.
Is it a sport that's common to a great many Americans?
Yes.
Was it a sport that was popular with the late, great President Hoover?
No. You're thinking of fishing, but you got it on the right line, actually. I want you to meet a seagoing golf pro. Mr. Sobel is on the Eastern Steamship Line's SS Ariadne. And he holds a golf clinic. So when you're going on a Caribbean cruise, he has golf clinics for everybody on board who wants to attend. And then you can get private lessons. And when you get down to one of those Caribbean golf courses, instead of shooting 90, you shoot 72. Is that right?
I presume
Sometimes.
you sail in the Gulf of New Mexico.
Sir?
Oh.
Say that again, Bennett.
Don't answer.
You mistimed it.
Bennett, try it again. We want everybody to get the pleasure of that one.
I said I hoped you operated in the Gulf of New Mexico.
Gulf of New Mexico. That's very good. How about the Gulf of Mexico? Would you like that better? No.
I get the
No.
Gulf of Mexico.
Fine. Well, thanks very much, sir. Nice to have you on.
Nice seeing you.
All right, we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a minute, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which my friends are always blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you a performer in show business?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you at present appearing in New York or thereabouts in either a play, a movie, or a nightclub?
No.
No?
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, are you indeed a performer in the theater?
I have performed in the theater.
Is it your principal career?
I would say no.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
What would you say about recordings? Do you make records?
I have made recordings.
Mr. Cerf.
Have you ever starred in nightclubs or hotel rooms? A public
Yes,
hotel?
I have. Many, many times.
Miss Francis.
Are you primarily a singer?
Yes.
Mr. Gabel.
Have you ever appeared on the stage?
He has, he said.
Yes. Once.
All right, Miss Kilgallen.
Now, wait, do you really mean that once?
For 5 weeks.
A short run.
Very short run.
Very tall boy.
Well, would you say that you made your primary income from your singing and whatever you do in nightclubs on records?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you a young man who made a great start in the Catskill Borscht circuit?
I made a great start in the Champagne circuit.
The Borscht circuit?
Yes.
May I take a guess?
Yes, take a guess, Ben.
I think it's Eddie Fisher.
Now, actually, my curiosity is piqued. What, I should know, Ed, and forgive me for not knowing it, but what was that one foray into the theater for 5 weeks?
Well, I appeared at the Winter Garden Theater for 5 weeks 2 years ago.
Well, certainly.
And did very well indeed.
Oh, yes, but that wasn't in a musical comedy.
No, it was just
Variety
at
sort
the
of.
Winter
Starring
Garden.
at.
Yeah.
Eddie, what's the Champagne circuit you're talking about?
Well, that's what I call it.
Grossing it.
Ed calls it the shame. This is, what, 5 weeks you were at the Winter Garden? This is what
Yes.
threw me.
I was supposed to have been there 4 weeks, but it was such a tremendous success that it was held over
You
a
were
week.
there for 5 weeks. Well, you're not going to get much rest, I guess, for Christmas, because I looked up the record when I found you're going to be with us. Aren't you going to be with Danny Thomas on December 10th?
Yes, we have a special show with Jimmy Durante and Joey Bishop. A great show. And I'll be doing some recordings here, which I haven't done in a long while, for RCA Victor, where I haven't been for a long while. And I'm here also working on Paint Your Wagon. I own the motion picture rights to Paint Your Wagon, and it's going to be the successor to My Fair Lady, Alan J. Lerner and Frederick Lowes. And Martin, if you're available for the lead...
Listen, you don't know. You know, Martin is now in rehearsal in his new show, and I asked Martin if he sang tonight, because I'd heard he was going to sing and maybe even dance. He said, no dancing, but he is going to sing in a manner of speaking. He said, well, I've forgotten how you're going to talk
on pitch.
Talk on pitch. So if you want to talk
That's
on
exactly
pitch...
right. And if it doesn't run for more than 4 weeks, and you don't hold yourself
You've got
over
a
for
job
more than
for
1 week...
That's very
Paint
kind of
Your
you, Eddie.
Wagon.
We're both from Philadelphia, and I think it's only fair that we should be loyal to each other.
And I
All the way.
hope you both always stay on pitch. Thanks very much, Ed. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Well, you worked hard tonight, panel. You certainly get A for effort, and we give you that. And we'll all be back after this word. And, Martin, once again, it's great to see you sitting there.
Pleasure to
Hope
see
we
you,
see you again really soon. And good night, Miss Arlene Francis.
Good night, dear John. See you later, Professor. And don't bother with that painting your wagon thing that Eddie Fisher was talking about.
As long as I'm on the wagon, you mean.
Right. I didn't want to say it.
Good night, Dorothy. Nice to
Good
see you.
night, Martin, and good luck in Boston.
Thank you.
And good luck in Texas, Bennett.
Thank you. Martin, don't you get any thinner. I like you fuller, a little bit fuller.
Oh, thank you, Bennett.
I don't like him a little bit fuller.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, to the big neologist, good night, sir.
Good night, Bennett, and to all the young ladies in the College of Denton, Texas, tough. And thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. This is Johnny Olson reminding you, if you'd like to attend one of our broadcasts, write to What's My Line, CBS Tickets, 485 Madison Avenue, New York, New York, 10022.